This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 16, and verse 3, and it reads, Thus shall Aaron come into the holy place with a young bullock for a sin offering and a ram for a burnt offering. Verse 4, He shall put on the holy linen coat, and he shall have the linen breeches upon his flesh, and shall be girded with a linen girdle, and with the linen mitre shall he be attired. These are holy garments. Therefore shall he wash his flesh in water, and so put them on. Verse 5, And he shall take of the congregation of the children of Yasharala 2 kids of the goats of a sin offering, and 1 ram for a burnt offering. Verse 6, And Aaron shall offer his bullock of the sin offering, which is for himself, and make an atonement for himself and for his house. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, all praises, honor, and the glory shall go to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham, Akak, Kodash, Brakatham. Double honor shall go to apostles, elders, and bishops, a great millstone who continue to teach and to rule well. Shalom to the Akims, a great millstone in like-minded camps and individuals who continue to teach as one body, who continue to be out on the highways and byways, risking their lives for the greater good. And also shalom to the sincere Akwats, who are continuously learning in silence, as the Holy Scriptures have commanded for you to do so. This is Azariah Gabar, representing the King is Coming channel, back at it with another lesson for edification purposes. All right, so today's blessed lesson is going to be entitled Yasharala's Atonement, aka Israel's Atonement. All right, because that's what this is all about right now. Because if you're in the know, you should know that today we're still in the atonement offerings, okay? So it's going to conclude by sundown tonight, October 1st, 2025, all right? So back in the days of Moses and Aaron, when an individual want to confess and to atone for his sins, he would have to offer up animals to Yahweh. All right? We're talking about animals such as goats, rams, bullocks, okay? And if Yahweh determines that your offerings were sincere, you will grant it, that atonement. If not, you would decline, and you would face sacrifice, all right? Because that was just like in the time of Cain and Abel, right? Cain offered up his offering to Yahweh, but Yahweh did not see it fit and sincere. But Abel, his offering was accepted by Yahweh. So what happened? Cain became jealous of his brother Abel, and he committed the first murder ever. All right? He slew Abel. So you should also know that Cain is a forefather of Esau, Edom, okay? So when we go to the book of Matthew 27, and this is regarding Yahushua Mashiach being arrested and being crucified, okay, by his own people, cheering him on, it reads, When Pilate saw that he could prevail nothing, but that rather a tumult was made, he took water and washed his hands before the multitude, saying, I am innocent of the blood of this just person. See ye to it. I mean, that's something. Pilate was an Edomite, a Roman. And even he saw Yahushua Mashiach to be a just person, but the wicked ancestors of Yasharala, all right, mainly those Sadducees and Pharisees, they thought otherwise or felt otherwise. Verse 25, and then answered all the people and said, his blood be on us and on our children. That's how wicked our people, our ancestors were. They'd rather his blood be on us and our children. That's crazy. Verse 26, then released he Barabbas. Barabbas was the robber, the murderer, unto them. And when he had scourged Yahushua, he delivered him to be crucified. Verse 27, then the soldiers of the governor took Yahushua into the common hall and gathered unto him the whole band of soldiers. Verse 28, and they stripped him and put on him a scarlet robe. Verse 29, and when they had plaited a crown of thorns, they put it upon his head and a reed in his right hand, and they bowed the knee before him and mocked him, saying, Hail, King of the Jews. Verse 30, and they spit upon him and took the reed and smote him in the head. Verse 31, and after they had mocked him, they took the robe off from him and put his own raiment on him and led him away to crucify him. I mean, that is crazy. All right? And again, the wickedness of the 2/3 back then, they're still here today. They're still here right now. Courtesy of reincarnation and regeneration. And same for those Edomites that actually put them to death. They're still here right now. Again, through the courtesy of reincarnation and regeneration. Are y'all heard? But there's going to be a heavy penalty because of this. So when we scroll down to verse 45 in the book of Matthew 27, and it reads, now from the 6th hour there was darkness over all the land until the 9th hour. Verse 46, and about the 9th hour, Yahushua cried with a loud voice, saying, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani. That is to say in Hebrew, my Yahweh, why hast thou forsaken me? All right, because Yahushua Mashiach, he wanted to pass the cup. He did not want to sacrifice himself for us. All right, because he knew how extremely wicked his own people was. And as a matter of fact, he even said a declaration in the book of Matthew and the other Gospels. He said, a prophet receives no honor in his own country. And that is true to this very day. The prophets of Yahushua Mashiach do not receive that honor in their own country. All right? Now, if they were to do wicked things, yes, they'll get all the accolades, the props, all right, and the honor. That's how backwards this society is. Compliments of Esau, Edom. All right? But Yahushua declined his request to pass the cup. And I'm so glad that Yahweh did that. Because if it weren't for that, we'll be in major, major trouble. Trust. So we go back to the book of Leviticus 17 and 11, and it reads, for the life of the flesh is in the blood, and I have given it to you upon the altar to make an atonement for your souls. For it is the blood that maketh an atonement for the soul. All right? So again, there goes that word atonement. So now that Yahushua Mashiach sacrificed himself for us, we're supposed to, commemorate this every year at this time. All right? So when we go to the book of 1 Peter 2 and 23, and it reads, who, when he was reviled reviled not again. When he suffered, he threatened not, but committed himself to him that judgeth righteously. And here's the point. Who his own self bare our sins in his own body on the tree, that we being dead to sins should live unto righteousness, by whose stripes ye were healed. All right? Verse 25. For ye were asleep, for ye were as sheep going astray, but are now returned unto the shepherd and bishop of your souls. Man. So, like I just mentioned, he bared his own self for our sins, so that soon he's going to come back to redeem us from our oppressors, mainly Esau, Edom. That's the ultimate sacrifice. So why shouldn't we dedicate 24 measly hours to atone and to commemorate and to thank Yahushua Mashiach for his spiritual deed that he did? All right? So, again, to make a cut to Christians who want to say, oh, Jesus came for all of us. He's here for all of us, for our sins. Wrong. Book of Matthew 10:5 says it clearly. These 12 Yahushua sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles. Ooh. And into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not. Here's a point. But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Yasharala. All right? Clear cut that this atonement is not for everybody. It's for the house of Yasharala. Get it through your thick heads. All right? Because what's going on right now? Yahushua Mashiach is really bringing down the hammer. Right now, government shutdown is in full effect. And I won't be surprised that this shutdown this time will truly go deep. All right? Into the end zone. All right? And Trump also made a recommendation when he had that meeting with those 800 generals that the sanctuary cities such as NYC, Chicago, San Francisco, all right, that the military should use these sanctuary cities as training grounds. All right? Think about that for a moment. So you better get it right and honor Yahushua Mashiach, Salakia, while the Lord is still giving you the chance to do so. So, happy atonement to the sincere Akims and Akwats. And all praises, honor, and the glory shall go to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham, Makah, Kodash, Brakatam, Kwam, Yasharala. And as always, Lord's willing, on to the next video. Shalom.